I never actually repeated this message, but I was skeptical of being deleted from my original file because when I was actually reading the Spanish article, all of a sudden the actual recording was cut off and interrupted because of the battery. I'm really sorry about that, but I really wanted to actually add this one inside the article. The two-thirds majority has not been reached by the Senate because the Democrats have truly actually failed to gather. Democrats have truly failed to gather a majority that requires a two-thirds. That means that it was 60 votes, which were actually necessary to secure this annihilation and invalidation of a veto by President Donald Trump. I did actually mention that when I swear to God, because you know what? There is a recording system installed in this room because of the masturbation. You can actually check that out. I really actually said that. But the problem is, this battery, all of a sudden died out silently. So I didn't even realize that I was not even actually being recorded. I didn't realize I was being ignored by this phone. I was just so preoccupied with my own recording, so I didn't even actually realize that, but I definitely mentioned it more than twice in order to actually at least two things that were actually dismissed from my previous later recording probably. One thing, the any type of war declaration or military attack on foreign entities in the United States other than its own country and its own military forces should definitely be approved by the US Congress. The US Congress is really the only entity who could eventually, ahead of all military activities, to give an immediate approval for war declaration for the serious engagement with the military activities, not just simple missile launching. No, I'm not talking about they can actually drop a rocket with no congressional approval. But the thing is, if you ever really want to launch a campaign that amounts to warfare, then you need to definitely declare a war. But the declaration of war should definitely be approved by the Congress ahead of time. I already mentioned this one also. Please, if you have a doubt about my credibility, then use the resource created for masturbation, which would actually provide the absolute clarity that I had to truly explained this before. Number two, the Senate failed to secure two-thirds majority in the banner of the Republicans' majority, which would definitely claims a bigger number of people for their side, so Democrats altogether completely broke down to scramble their forces to secure 60, which is literally two-thirds of the Senate members on the floor, which are definitely necessary and imperative and peremptory to invalidate, nullify, or abrogate any veto power exerted by President of the United States. I definitely mentioned that. Whatever type of veto. President can have multiple veto types in a pocket veto or a line veto or just simple executive veto. But the thing is, anyway, if you ever actually wanted to make his power obsolete, then you need to gather at least 60 members inside the Senate on the floor, which should actually be the two-thirds of the Senate members out of 100. That's what I really actually said at the time at my first trial, but in case these very important facts included in the article were dismissed or not recorded for my second trial, then I just really want you to listen to the original file obtained by this vigilante watching me every day and eavesdropping on every pin dropping sound in my room. Please, you can actually hear the pin dropping. There is nothing that would be leaked with no attention to the origin of the sound by identifying the source of everything coming out of my room. Whether that would be from TV or whether that would be from my body parts, they were actually, paying heed to every sound bite. And they must have been on to this. It's a no-brainer, no rocket science, huh?